Patterns in a Distributed System, which is a very good book that I found. So just wanted to go through, I haven't seen this book before. I have not read a single page of this book. So we are planning to go together so that, and I will upload these videos in the YouTube so that you can also learn along with me. First of all, I will go with the name and title. So this is called Patterns of Distributed System. You can find these books on Kindle or Amazon to buy if you want the hard copy or soft copy. I will also drop the link in the description in case you want to download the soft copy for free. Okay, so this book is written by Unmesh Joshi with contribution by Martin Fowler. So it also follows Jim Webler, who is a chief scientist at Neo4j, and you all know Neo4j is very popular graph database, which is very popular. It does like great job. So we'll go through some of the items today. Today we'll not go in depth into the whole book, but just to understand what all we are going to cover in the next couple of lectures. So the first part, okay, let's go through the content. So in the content we have narratives. Part 1 are narratives, in which we have one first chapter, the promise and perils of distributed system, where we learn the limit of a single server. What are the limit? Why do we need to like distribute our services into multiple servers, and what are all the benefits that we get? Separate business logic and data layers. Why we should be always separating the business logic and data layer into different servers? Partitioning of data, how a failure look like, how replication works, like masking failure, process cache, network delay, process pause, unsynchronized clocks, and many more. Also, we'll go through how we define a distributed system, what are some of the patterns that we can figure out, and how to approach those distributed system. All these are part of the first chapter. Then we'll go through overview of the patterns, where we'll understand how to keep data resilient in a single server. Then competing updates. So do not worry if you find these keywords very non-useful right now, or you're not able to understand it fully. We'll go through them very in depth in the like future videos. So even if you're not understanding it fully, that's totally fine. We'll go through them one by one and we'll make sure that we understand everything. Okay. Then we have competing updates, dealing with the leader failing, multiple failures, need a generation clock. All these things very useful when you go for a FANG level system design. These are the like some of the patterns that you have to always like keep in mind. And yeah, so these are the things, like this is all the overview related to all the patterns that we have in the distributed system. Ordering cannot depend on the system timestamp and all. Then we can see in part 2 we have patterns of data replication, where we'll have a couple of very interesting chapters like write ahead log or segmented log, low watermark, leader and followers. These are very good concept. If you once you understand them, you can literally design any system at very scale and with full understanding. So these are very important chapters we'll go through. So and the way they have organized it is like super cool. So they will give you a problem, and so that you understand why this thing came, right? And why do you want to do something like write ahead log? Why do we need that at the first glance, right? Then implementation consideration, and then like compared to event sourcing, how it is different and all these things. So like examples will be also there and all these things, like solutions, what are all the two types of solutions that we have. And yeah, all these things are there in the chapter. These are like, this is the like main thing that we have to understand, the patterns. So once you understand the pattern, you can design any system. Like okay, so we'll have a couple of patterns chapters over here. Then like those were on the data replication patterns. Now we are coming into data partitioning patterns. So data partitioning patterns, and again why we need to partition the data. What are the patterns that we can follow to partition the data in a good way? For example, fixed partitioning, key range partitions, two-phase commit. All these things are very good concepts that will help you build a strong, resilient, scalable systems. Then in the fourth chapter, fourth part, we have like patterns on distributed time, like Lamport clock, hybrid clock, clock bound wait. Then after we have patterns on cluster management, like consistent core, lease, state watch, gossip division, and the all these things. Okay, then we have patterns on communication between nodes, how the communication happens from one node to other node. We have couple of patterns, and which patterns you can use in which kind of, designing a system, which pattern will you use. Those are like very good like learning opportunities. So then you will have like single socket channel, what are the problems with this, what are the solutions that we can have, and some of the examples that we have in day-to-day life. And then we have request batch, request pipeline, all these things. Cool. So this was all about the things and content that we are going to learn. So you might have understood that almost everything is related to figuring out the patterns in the different way of designing a distributed system. Some of the major problems and some of the major things that we have to thought when we design something like distributed system, like how data replication, data partitioning, and all these things happen. So if you understand the core concept, and if you understand the actual uh, like patterns behind them, you can always choose the best one and design a good scalable system. So this was all for the content page. Now we can go ahead with the chapters. Okay, so this is not important, all these things are just for the sake of book. The page intentionally left blank. Cool. Okay, so we'll go through the narrative. So we'll go through the first chapter in the later video. So see you in the next video. Thanks all.